20. Fascinating psychology facts about people. Understanding these psychological facts about people provides valuable insights into how we think, feel, and behave. By applying these insights, you can improve your interactions, relationships, and personal growth. Remember, the more you understand about the human mind, the better equipped you are to navigate the complexities of life. 1. The power of first impressions. Did you know that people form a first impression within just 7 seconds of meeting someone? This initial judgment is primarily based on your appearance, body language, and demeanor. First impressions are incredibly powerful and can influence how people perceive you in the long term. Make those first moments count by projecting confidence and warmth through your body, language, and tone of voice. 2. The illusion of transparency. People often overestimate how much their emotions are visible to others. This phenomenon is known as the illusion of transparency. You may feel like everyone can see your anxiety or excitement, but in reality, most people are less perceptive of your internal states than you think. Use this to your advantage by maintaining composure in stressful situations. Knowing others may not notice your nerves. 3. The halo effect. The halo effect is a cognitive bias where our overall impression of someone influences how we feel about their character. For example, attractive people are often perceived as more intelligent and competent simply because of their looks. Be aware of this bias when forming opinions about others and strive to look beyond surface-level attributes. 4. The spotlight effect. We tend to overestimate how much others notice us, which is known as the spotlight effect. Whether it's a bad hair day or a small mistake, we assume people are paying more attention than they actually are. Remember that people are usually more focused on themselves than on your perceived flaws, so don't be too hard on yourself. 5. The pratfall effect. Interestingly, making a minor mistake can make you more likable. This is called the pratfall effect. People who are generally competent but show a slight vulnerability are often perceived as more relatable and human. Embrace your imperfections and don't be afraid to show vulnerability. It can make you more approachable and endearing. 6. The Dunning-Kruger effect. This cognitive bias describes how people with low ability or knowledge in a domain often overestimate their competence. In contrast, those with high competence tend to underestimate their abilities. Stay humble and open to learning, regardless of your level of expertise, and seek feedback to improve. 7. The Zeigarnik effect. The Zeigarnik effect suggests that people remember uncompleted or interrupted tasks better than completed ones. This is why unresolved storylines in books keep us hooked. Use this effect to enhance productivity by breaking tasks into smaller, incomplete segments, prompting your brain to keep them in mind. 8. The mere exposure effect. We tend to develop a preference for things simply because we are familiar with them, a phenomenon known as the mere exposure effect. This can influence everything from the music we like to the people we are drawn to. Use this to your advantage by familiarizing yourself with new environments or people to increase comfort and liking. 9. The endowment effect. People often overvalue things simply because they own them, which is known as the endowment effect. This can lead to attachment to possessions and difficulty letting go. Be mindful of this bias when making decisions about possessions, and consider the actual value and utility of items. 10. The Pygmalion effect. Expectations can significantly influence performance. The Pygmalion effect refers to the phenomenon where higher expectations lead to an increase in performance, while lower expectations result in a decrease. Set high expectations for yourself and others, fostering an environment of encouragement and motivation. 11. The bystander effect. The bystander effect occurs when individuals are less likely to offer help in an emergency when other people are present. The presence of others diffuses the responsibility, making everyone less likely to act. In a crisis, take initiative and act or directly ask someone to help, breaking the diffusion of responsibility. 12. The recency effect. The recency effect suggests that people tend to remember the last items in a list or sequence more effectively than those in the middle. This applies to speeches, presentations, and even grocery lists. End your presentations or conversations with key points you want your audience to remember. 13. Cognitive dissonance. Cognitive dissonance refers to the discomfort we feel when holding two conflicting beliefs or engaging in behavior that contradicts our values. To resolve this, we often change our beliefs or justify our actions. Use this understanding to identify areas where your actions and beliefs might be misaligned and work towards consistency. 14. The anchoring effect. People rely heavily on the first piece of information they receive when making decisions, a bias known as the anchoring effect. This initial anchor can influence judgments and decision-making processes. Be cautious of initial information presented in negotiations or decision-making and seek additional perspectives. 15. Social proof. Social proof is the tendency to conform to the actions and beliefs of others in uncertain situations. We often look to others for cues on how to behave. Leverage social proof by showcasing testimonials and endorsements when trying to influence others. 16. The placebo effect. The placebo effect demonstrates how the belief in the effectiveness of a treatment can lead to real physiological changes, even if the treatment itself is inert. Harness the power of belief and positive thinking in your life to enhance outcomes and well-being. 17. The frequency illusion. Once you notice something, you start seeing it everywhere. This is known as the frequency illusion. It occurs because your brain becomes more attuned to recognizing the pattern. Use this to reinforce positive habits or goals by consistently exposing yourself to related information. 18. The self-fulfilling prophecy. A self-fulfilling prophecy is when a belief or expectation influences actions in a way that causes the belief to come true. Your expectations can shape reality. Set positive expectations for yourself and your life, actively working towards making them a reality. 19. The hedonic treadmill. The hedonic treadmill describes how people quickly return to a baseline level of happiness despite positive or negative events. Over time, we adapt to changes and our happiness stabilizes. Focus on gratitude and finding joy in everyday experiences, rather than constantly seeking external changes for happiness. 20. Emotional contagion. Emotions are contagious. We tend to mimic and absorb the emotions of those around us, affecting our own mood and behavior. Surround yourself with positive and uplifting people to enhance your emotional well-being and spread positivity to others. Use these insights to enhance your understanding of yourself and others, and continue exploring the fascinating world of psychology. See you in the next one.